Hi, I'm Vasana Alles. I'm mother of two lovely children. My husband is Akila Alles and my elder son is Aditya Alles. Daughter is 9 months, Adaya Alles. And I work as a business manager for MAS Liniaco Private Limited. I'm a career woman, and my focus was there very highly on my career, and my family supported me, and still they're supporting me towards my career, and as well as I always try to have a balanced life, giving attention to my children, trying to, as much as possible, involved in their homework, involved with my son in everything he wants my help with, and so that's the life phase. When I got to know that I have a breast cancer, I was expecting my daughter. I actually got to know 1 week before my delivery that I have a stage 3 cancer. When I got to know, the very first day when we got to know about it, we have heard about it, all of us. I mean, we know what breast cancer is, but to be honest, we didn't know what sort of a medication that a person with breast cancer has to go through. We didn't know anything. So the very first day, my husband told me that I have a breast cancer. So I remember this was at my sister's house. All of us, the entire family, got together at my sister's house, and the first thing we all did was we cried. I still remember. I think that's the first time in my life that I saw my husband was crying. That was one of the most emotional moments for me, I would say, because I've never ever seen him crying. So first time I saw him crying, and my entire family, to the level of my brother-in-law, my sister's husband. So the entire family was crying, just hugging me and crying. Didn't know what to do. We just cried, and then suddenly there was this. I'm a Christian. I mean, the entire family we are strong Christians, and there was this pastor suddenly stepping into the house, and he prayed for me. And then there was another pastor who was in the flying crew, and he prayed me over the phone. So there was verses that I got saying that God is there. God is powerful than anything in the world. Just trust in Him, put all your trust in Him, everything will be perfectly fine. So that was the strength that all of us got as a family, the entire family. And then all of us just wiped the tears. And then my doctor's appointment was there in the evening with a gyno. So we went and met the gyno, and then such a wonderful doctor he was. He didn't panic. He said, no, just be calm. He checked me. He said, don't worry, let's see what options. And he personally picked the phone and he called like more than 3-4 doctors to see what he can do, what options are available, because I was pregnant. And I don't think my gyno was Dr. R. Colonne. So I must say, he's such a wonderful doctor. At that time, he was so close to us. He was so wonderful, and he said, "Don't worry, nothing is going to happen to you. You don't have to worry about anything." And he didn't know much about this, but he tried calling the specialists that he know, and he talked to few doctors and asked the reference of the surgeons, and then he himself spoke to about 3-4 doctors, and we found this one doctor who is Kanishka De Silva, who was very touching at the moment. He understood my situation, and he said, no, this is not something that you should rush into. She's just 33 years old. Don't rush into surgery or anything, just focus on your delivery, and then I'll be slowly look at her. So that moment itself, I mean, we prayed as a family and went to see the doctor. So that itself gave so much of strength. I mean, I would say that was the first step towards cancer treatment that we took in our lives as a family. So when I met Kanishka De Silva, he said, first you go with your delivery. I don't want you to compromise anything with these treatments or anything. Just focus on your delivery. So I did. I delivered my baby. I had a wonderful, a beautiful, lovely baby girl. And then I actually breastfed her for about 3 weeks. and during that time I went on few testings. So then we decided that we will start the chemo, and then again it was again like another step. Didn't know what chemo was, didn't know what were the steps. Truly we didn't know. All we knew was that your hair is falling. That, to be honest, that's the only thing that I knew about it, right? And then we went to meet another doctor. We met the doctor, was not happy about it because he said, this is chemo, you do chemo, you lose your hair, but don't worry, you'll get it again, and then give another list of testing, you do this, get yourself come and admitted, this is how it's need to be done. Personally, I was not comfortable with that doctor because I wanted to be very comfortable with the doctor. So my husband and both didn't feel very touched with the doctor. So then we were referred to another doctor, oncologist called Dr. Dehan. So he was referred to me by my boss and as well as one of my uncles. So we went to see Dr. Dehan, and he was one of another wonderful doctor, I would say. Maybe it's all because that I committed myself to God, and I said, God, I'm in your hands. Just do what is right. That's all I said. Because there has to be a reason why I got it. Being a daughter of yours, just do what is right. That was my request, and he just directed me towards the right doctor, into the right doctor's hand. So I went to meet Dehan, and I felt so comfortable. So all he said was, he just told me what chemotherapy is, and actually I thought chemotherapy is something like a electrocution session. That was the whole idea about chemotherapy for me. I thought that they'll plug me into something and then that's it. No, it's chemotherapy is that you go, you sit in for about 3 hours, and they just put a saline to your hand, and they just put the medicine into the saline, 2 bottles of saline, and it just goes into your body. So that's chemotherapy. So for me, they said I have to go through 6 stages of chemos, and then they said let's do the surgery. So I went through 6 stages of chemo. The very first chemo was very emotional for me because I was breastfeeding my daughter, and I had to stop breastfeeding her. So that was really, really emotional for me. That was the only reason, I would say, why I was so emotional with the baby, because I actually knew that I can't breastfeed her anymore, and first chemo, everybody said that I'll go weak, I will not have the appetite to eat, I'll vomit. So there were so many things when I read, and my husband was well prepared. So I came home and doctor said have a light diet. So the very first day I came, I had bread toast and boiled vegetables, I remember. And then I had a wash and I went to bed. I slept for about 4 hours. I got up in the night and I vomited. Then I realized, no, I need to go and sleep. So I went and slept again. Then I started reading. So what I understood is with chemo, you should never take the food which contains yeast, because yeast is something again reacts with the medicine inside your body, and that's why you vomit. So I started reading a lot, what food that I should eat, what food that I should not eat. After the very first chemo, about 4 to 5 days, I was feeling very lazy. I was sleepy, so I used to sleep like almost every day. I was feeling very weak. Then I realized this is not going to work, because even though I was on maternity leave at that time, I wanted to get myself involved in different other things, so that I don't think about this. So then I started working from home. I started getting involved in my son's studies, do work on my baby. So I tried to get myself busy. I actually kept myself busy as much as possible, so I don't think about it. Like this, anyway, the chemo is like every 3 weeks. So you have first chemo, then you let go of 3 weeks, and then again the 4th week you have to go and have the next chemo. So like this, every chemo session went, and I did the study. So after the second chemo, I didn't vomit, and I was feeling very strong. The doctor was so happy about my reports, because after every blood test, my hemoglobin count is going up. Normally, when you're doing chemo, the hemoglobin count is coming down. Why? Because of the food that I took, like most of the meat, the red meat and all those things. Even though, I mean, I never ate beef I had never tried beef in my life, but then because I had to eat beef liver, and I took a lot of protein. That kind of kept me going, and also it gave me so much strength. And I actually didn't vomit. After the first chemo, and when I was going through like the 4th chemo, I was like feeling this is enough, this is sick. I actually didn't, that was like really tough for me to take on. But again, I had the strength for my family. My husband was just with me, and my sisters were just my younger sister. She quit her job. She was working, and she quit her job just to look after my baby. So that's the family that I have. So, and my husband, he was just next to me every time. When I was getting weak, they were just standing by my side. They never forced me to do things that I never wanted. So they were always there with me. Every decision that I took, they actually supported me. So I thank God for blessing me with such a wonderful family. My in-laws, my own mother, every single person, and my office, my friends at my work, my bosses, all of them were all of them were doing what they were doing was just encouraging me. None of them actually let me. I never felt in my life that I actually have a cancer. My life was normal. One of the symptoms, that the first symptoms from the side effect from chemo is like your hair started falling. It was really not easy, the hair fall, to manage with the baby. So I told Akila, I want to go and just shave. He said, are you sure? I said yes. I didn't look at myself. To be honest, I didn't want to. I was not ready to look at myself. And I had a scarf, tied my scarf, and I walked out. I didn't look at myself, my hair. I didn't look at myself without the scarf for about 5 months. I always went into the mirror with a scarf. I used to vomit throughout the night, and I remember when I was vomiting, one thing where I was so much proud of. I remember my son. He's 9 years old. He came. I remember I was vomiting. He came. He held my head like this, and I was vomiting, and he was holding my head like this. Ami, you vomit. So that's something a mother or a father would do for a child, and my son did it. So I was so happy that he has those values. That means that he proved that we have been good parents for him. And all he said was, Ammi, you're so strong. You're my strong Amma. And Gigi is there with you. So nothing is going to happen. And he was just massaging my head until I fell asleep. So he was doing that the last 2 chemo sessions when I suffered the most. And at one chemo, actually, I was vomiting at home, and my husband was not in the country. And I remember he was not in Sri Lanka, but he was talking to me over the phone. He was talking to me until I fell asleep, and my sister was just with me. She was just next to me. Sleepless nights for them. My baby was small, and she had to like look after me, look after the baby. But it's all grace of God that He never let me felt alone. That He kept me so strong throughout this journey. So I did the chemo, I finished it, and then started searching for the next option, which is the surgery. Then I had to make the decision on whether I am going through the surgery or not. Then I went to see Dr. Kanishka, and he said, yeah, you have to go through the surgery. You should not avoid it. It's why you take a risk in your life and all those things. So I was so strong. I didn't cry at all. I was so strong when I came out of the doctors, and my husband and my sister-in-law were so surprised how I faced it. That every step I took, God was there with me, and that was the strength that I had in my life. My surgery, I went through the breast surgery. My doctor was Dr. Kanishka De Silva. I did it at City Surgical. The staff was really nice, and I came out. I was fine, perfectly fine. I was sleepy after the surgery. I slept the entire night, a peaceful sleep. I got up in the morning. I was still sleepy, and the nurses came and asked whether I have the pain. I didn't feel anything, so I told the nurse I don't feel anything. Because before I went into the theater and before I stepped out of my house, I prayed. I knelt down and I prayed. I said, God, I know the pain of the cesarean. I went through it, and I seriously don't want to go through similar pain again. So please don't let me feel that pain. That's how you need to take on. It's really not easy to face the reality. Being a woman, it's really not easy to face the reality. But there's so many things available in the market. That's what I realize. I mean, anytime in our lives we can go and have a breast reconstruction done, or a lot of the people can't afford it. Most of the people, I'm sure, who get breast cancer can't afford to get plastic surgery done. There are so much of other substitute options available in the market. So there's nothing like that you can say that it's tough for me to live without a breast or live without my breast at all. It's just how you face the life and take it positively. So any woman, I would say it's very important that you go and do your regular checkups. You go to doctors, you see your doctor, you do body checkups, and it's not that it's costly. There are so much of government hospitals available that you go to cancer hospital and you say, I want these checkups, and they let you do the checkups. And even in private, if you want to do a mammogram is just 5,000 rupees. So I'm sure there are a lot of women, a lot of working women who are there that can afford this 5,000 rupees. Because one thing for breast cancer is the stress that the women gets. For most of the females, one of the biggest reasons why the breast cancer is the stress that you go through. So it's a way of putting your stress out. So any working woman, I would say try and do your monthly checkups. Go to the doctor, see the doctors, do the mammograms, and if you have even a small lump, whatever the age it is, please go and meet a doctor immediately. Don't take it too lightly. Don't take it don't take it too easy way. Think it's just, no, it will vanish. No, just go and see a doctor, because it can turn into anything. So the sooner you meet a doctor, that's the best thing that you can do.
Hi, my name is AMDT Alles. My mother had a breast cancer, but in time we actually got for the checkup. We went to get the checkup before, like 1 week before we got my baby sister. So we were there in time. Like now I'm saying is that tell your mothers, sisters, grandmothers to take their checkup right now. It will be better to take it earlier.
I'm Vasana Alles. My wife went through breast cancer, chemo, and then surgery ultimately. So firstly, I want to tell all of you guys, please get your wives, your sisters, your grandmothers, your whoever it is, checked up regularly. It's a very, very small test to be done, so get it checked up, because the stats that I got to know is every woman in Sri Lanka, every 1 in 40 women in Sri Lanka have breast cancer. And if you catch it early, you can get away with it with minor surgery or minor medications. Don't let it go to the end. And do the maximum you can. Encourage your friends. I mean, just a few things that we did was some of our friends, actually my sister and some other friends, got together and we created a small WhatsApp prayer group. And on a daily basis, we had messages coming of encouragement from different people. Then when my wife's hair started falling, I went and cut my hair. I went bald.